Good?
I almost got that on video.
Oh,
That would have been funny.
then we would have done
I know, I totally would. Okay, so we are here with our I Need a Pen conference. Thank you. Okay, so I just have 3 questions for you.
Okay.
What do you think worked well during today's lesson?
I think that they had a good concept of rate. Most of them did already, and I think that was due to our swap block time because a lot of them, that was something that I know Mary and I and Amanda had worked on for a week. We worked on rate one day, we worked on fluency, so that's why I had the posters. And I thought the visual, I was excited to have that because I think the visual for a lot of them will help, just remind them that there's a lot to reading and there's a lot that our brains have to think about. During the lesson, coming up with strategies with the kids that can help them with their fluency was something that was a bit of a stumper, not only for them, but for me too. Like, how can I help them become more fluent? So we had come up with the finger, using the finger, but not using the finger under each word like they're used to. Moving your finger and trying to keep your eyes and your brain caught up to your finger, not too fast and not too slow, but trying to figure out that rate. So we practiced that a lot together as a class and also as a small group first, and then we talked about it as a class. So I think that kind of drove home the point for some of them too about whether or not they had a just right book. So that kind of that might lead into another lesson later on, because if they're constantly getting stuck and their finger keeps going and they, and if their finger gets stuck on, and we decided if it gets stuck on 5 or more words and you can't keep up, if you're not reading it fluently, then that's another telltale sign that it's not a just right book for you at this point in time.
Right.
So there were a lot of things that I didn't anticipate coming from that, and it did. So
yeah, that's a great thing.
Yeah.
Like, that just reaffirms that what you did in swap block is
right.
working.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
That was awesome. So that was something that I couldn't have had work any better. But
yeah. I noticed too that they were all raising their hands. It seemed like that was one thing I put down. Like they really were involved in the lesson. You had them engaged the whole time. So that was awesome. Any tricky parts to the lesson or anything you?
Well, I don't think there's anything I would have done differently per se, but the tricky part was how do we get their fluency better? What's something that, I'm not sure the finger following under the word is the best thing, but it's what I could think of at the time, and so that was something I wanted to pose to you since you had done your...
Yeah, and that's such a great question because that is something that we talked about actually last week, was the finger and that being a strategy for fluency, and the coach said something interesting to us. She said that when you use the finger, it kind of takes away the comprehension because you're just focusing on the word. And I think you already knew that might not be the best strategy. So I actually pulled some stuff that I was telling you about from comprehending and fluency. And I think there's a thing in here about other strategies besides using the finger. It's on. I know, right? Doesn't that sound funny? On. Oh, here, this chart, I wrote these down and I'll make a copy of this for you too, but this
wonderful.
chart is just some ways to teach fluency during the whole class, some ideas, during a small group or in an individual basis. But then, what I really like, these are some prompts so if you're talking about rate, these are some things you might say to the kids.
Oh, which I exampled in the book. Okay.
And then there's 6 different types of fluency that they talk about. There's the rate, there's the phrasing, stress, intonation, integration. So these are all just some prompts for if you're looking.
Good to know, because
isn't that cool?
That's what we're going to be getting into in the next few days.
Exactly. So this is a great.
Okay.
And I have it on here.
Oh, good.
So,
okay.
And then, where did it was like page 101 or something like that had a chart. Oh, I wish I would have written that one down. I'll look for it again, but it has a chart on other ways to check for fluency besides the finger trick. Oh, that's that one.
And I think, I mean, tricky with the finger because not all of them get the concept of just keeping the finger going. They're still pointing word to word.
Exactly,
you know?
which distracts
So it
from your
takes work.
comprehension.
Yeah.
Because they're still looking at, that finger.
I don't think they all
move.
understood what I meant by that, so.
Oh, yeah, I know. I'll find it. Here's another, just the 6 dimensions of fluency.
Pausing, phrasing, stress, intonation, yep,
Just a
great.
description of each.
Okay,
And then they talk about fluency at different levels, like that you're not either fluent or not fluent, that you're at a different stage. So you might be fluent with letters, like you know all your letters. You might be fluent word for word, fluent by a phrase, so there's different stages of fluency that they
that's
talk about.
where a lot of them are at, like they read 4 words at a time. And
Yeah,
then,
they're
or
probably-
2 words at a, yeah, okay.
So there's that chart, and then, of course, I'm not going to find that one right
No,
now.
of course
But, right. And then these are some behaviors to notice from kids who are non-fluent versus fluent, which was another interesting thing to look at. So, I'll put those down. And then I'll find that chart for you, that because there's like 5 other things besides using the finger that they can do.
Okay,
And I'll
yeah,
find
find
it
that
and
because then I can make a poster out of that and put
Yes.
that up for them as well, okay.
I made copies of this for you, which is a scale for assessing fluency,
Okay.
with the different 6 levels. So,
Awesome.
isn't that cool?
That is awesome.
So you could do this for each student almost, or just the ones you were worried about, and just kind of evaluate where they're at.
And also show this at conferences, you know, make
Yeah.
that so parents
Yeah,
know when
yeah.
they're reading what I'm looking for and what they can help their child with.
Yep. And this is just another simple one that I made that just you could put like class students on and kind of put 1, 2, 3, or 4 into each category. If you,
Okay.
just another resource for you if you
Okay.
wanted it.
Yeah, wonderful, thank you.
Yeah, and then I thought your timing was fantastic. Like your mini lesson was like I think it was 9 or 10 minutes, which was
Okay.
perfect.
I looked up at the clock, I'm like, ooh, that worked, yeah.
It
'cause
was
that's about
great,
how long
and that's
they
one of the things that people struggle with. I still struggle with even is like the timing. Sometimes I go too long, and
Okay.
So, and I liked
Good.
how you showed the big picture about what fluency is, and then zoomed in.
Okay.
I put that's something I learned from you because sometimes I get so caught up in zooming in, I forget to like show them why we're doing this or what the big picture is. So that was great.
Okay,
And then I just have these resources down for you. So
yeah,
I will make a copy of this, and you've got
Thank you.
those, and I'll
Yeah.
let you know. Make a note of to myself what page number that from comprehending
that chart
fluency.
was,
Yeah, the chart. The other ways to use follow your reading.
Okay,
Okay.
sounds great.
Is there anything else you need?
No, that's absolutely what I needed.
I think that'll be
a
great
way
for the
to help
rest of the
them
week.
understand. Yeah,
Yeah.
a way how do they other than rereading over and over again? How do they improve their fluency? So
Yes.
that was the question I had. Thank you.
Perfect.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Good to
Turn
go.
this bad boy off.
Yeah.